as she honors America with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to
Only a few more left at Spillane Field in 2023. Let's enjoy this one. Harwich and Wareham for the final time this season, and it comes to you on a Wednesday night. With Jack Hunter, I'm Aiden Blank. Good to have you with us. Amanda Foster in just a bit. And Jack, it's pretty simple. Wareham needs to win to stay alive in the playoff picture.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of new blood in this lineup now. I think the big emphasis is just to play hard, like Ryan Smythe says. Play hard, take care of your business. Obviously, we're going to be doing some scoreboard watching, but the team themselves just has to focus on what they can control, and that's going out here and trying to get a win over a Harwich team that they beat handily a long time ago, a month and 13 days back.
Wareham enters this game 13-22-2. The only way they can be eliminated in the postseason tonight is if they lose, Bourne wins, and Falmouth either wins or ties. So as Jack mentioned, scoreboard watching very important over the next 9 innings. But at the end of the day, if they win, the other 2 games don't matter. So you can control your own destiny in a way here tonight.
Yeah, and that may not be the case going forward. 3 games left in the season, but when you can control what you can control now, and that's winning games. And the Gatemen have put themselves in this spot tier 2. So just focus on playing clean baseball today. They got some new faces and some old friends in the lineup that are playing good ball recently, so just got to try to put it all together tonight.
Yeah, the return of Jimmy Brennan, activated a couple days back, played only 3 games back in the beginning of the season, gets the start tonight. The rest of that Harwich lineup coming up right now. Kevin Keister leads off, the designated hitter out of Maryland. Batting second is Kevin Karstetter. He's the left fielder, recently transferred to Arizona State. Batting third is Ethan Anderson, the first baseman from Virginia. Cleanup hitter is Elijah Lambros, right fielder, also out of Maryland, playing with his teammate Keister. Devin Obie, center fielder out of Duke. Gatemen have seen him quite a bit this season. He'll bat fifth. Ali Camarillo is the shortstop. He's out of A&M. He's one of the only players on Harwich's roster that was here when they first met at Spillane Field back in the beginning of the season. He'll bat sixth. Brian Arendt, the catcher from UNC Wilmington, batting seventh. Talmadge LaCroix, the third baseman from South Carolina, shout out to our producer Rachel Manning, will bat eighth. And Daniel Rivera, the second baseman from Kansas State, is batting ninth. And Jack, defensively, the first start for Wareham's Chase Chapman.
Yeah, Chapman has appeared in 3 games. He's pitched very well in 2 games, including his debut when he pitched 2 scoreless innings at Harwich just a few short weeks ago. He's a lefty working with the fastball, slider, and curveball mostly. The fastball sits in the mid to high 80s, but the slider and the curveball have a lot of movement on them, and he can be quite deceptive on the mounds. And then lining up around him, you got Dorian Gonzalez and J.C. Cologne up the middle at second and short. Michael Brooks is doing the DHing today because Byram Hott is in the field for the first time at third. Grant Hussey's at first, and then in the outfield, Sherrod and Brennan will flank Corey Morton in center, his first start in center field.
Wareham enters this ball game at 13-22-2. That is good for 28 points in the West Division. Harwich 16-20-1, good for 31 points in the East Division. Two teams not terribly different in state. They're only separated by about 3 points, yet Harwich is just knocking on second place in the East. Wareham just trying to get in the playoffs in the West. That shows you the level of play that has come in each division.
Yeah, and the difference is both of the similarities. Both of these teams have struggled at times this year and have not really been able to emerge themselves, go on a winning streak, a sustainable winning streak that really raises their level of play. But the difference is that Harwich has not been punished for it because pretty much every other team in the East has been doing that. So they still have time with 8 games left in the year, or 7 games now, to really just keep boosting themselves up, where Wareham has gotten buried because every other team around them has been playing smoking hot baseball in July.
Wareham and Harwich, no team has won a road game in this rivalry this summer. Harwich has won the last 2, both at White House Field. Wareham won the early season meeting here at Spillane. Chase Chapman is on the mound, as we mentioned, his first start. Worked 50 1/3 innings over 11 games, a 6.26 ERA in the spring at St. Thomas. A weird trajectory for him, Jack. Goes from D1 Florida Gulf Coast to an NAIA school in St. Thomas.
Yeah, with a JUCO stop in the middle of that too. And for Thomas, the biggest, for Chapman, the biggest thing at St. Thomas is being able to throw innings. And he got to throw a lot of innings this year, got to make a lot of starts. So when the spot came open in the rotation, Chapman was, telling Ryan Smythe, hey, I'd love to start for you. And Smythe has given him the nod tonight.
Here we go. Leadoff batter, Kevin Keister. Designated hitter from the University of Maryland. Chops it foul off the plate. 0-1. Let's play some baseball on a steamy Wednesday night. Only a few home games remaining for the Gatemen. Another one coming up on Sunday against Catuit. There's a home game on Monday. It's at Polar Park against Bourne. 0-1. Dealt a cut and a miss. 0-2. Keister, Karstetter, and Anderson, the top 3 in the lineup for the M's tonight. Chapman will lift in an 0-2. High, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Keister coming in with a .625 average. Mammoth numbers for him early in this season. 1-2. Just off the outer edge. Count levels. A rising senior from Terp Country. Ready for a 2-2. Chapman deals a breaking ball and rings him up on the inner third. He strikes out the first batter he sees.
Left fielder, number 34.
That'll bring up Kevin Karstetter, left fielder. He just transferred to Arizona State. Very excited to watch him play in the spring. He'll be there actually in just a few weeks. He'll go join former Gatemen now Nick McLean and Ryan Campos. First pitch to him. Ball drops in and the count's 0-1.
That's the curveball, and I was talking before the game how Chapman needs to get in counts where he can throw those breaking balls for put-away pitches, and he did just that in his first at-bat.
Ball outside. Karstetter hit a team-high .415 in his sophomore season at State College of Florida, a JUCO in Lakeland, Florida. Ended his JUCO career leading the country in hits and doubles. 1-1, laces one to J.C. Cologne at short. Deep in the hole, fires over. A hard hit ball from Karstetter, but he's set down, and 2 quick outs for Chapman on the mound.
And how confident does J.C. Cologne look? We've talked about him at the plate, but defensively, he's been doing a lot of quiet things. You usually don't talk about defensive guys, and unless they're making errors, then you'd point that out. But J.C. has made a lot of really nice, smooth plays over the last 2 nights.
In steps Ethan Anderson. First baseman out of Virginia, checks his swing, takes it low. Anderson, a rising junior, hit .375, 66 runs batted in his sophomore season, 30 multi-hit games and 42 walks. Gets on base a lot. A whiff on the 1-0 makes it 1-1. Ranked as the top catcher and fourth best overall prospect coming out of the state of Virginia. His senior year of high school. The count's now 2-1. The first Cavalier since Nick Howard in 2013 to register 5 hits in a ball game this season. Homered from both sides of the plate and 3 doubles in that game. So he brings the power as well. 3 balls into strike. You can sense that's a theme with the top of this Mariner lineup. Power all over the place. And Harwich not quite locked into a playoff spot yet. Will be soon. 3-1. In for a strike. Count goes full. So they're in a much different situation than Wareham, where Wareham's just trying to play catch-up. Harwich is now looking ahead and trying to think, okay, we're going to clinch the postseason at some point in this week. Now what pieces do we need to make a playoff push? 3-2 settles low. First walk of the night. A 2-out walk issued by Chapman, and Anderson reaches to bring up Elijah Lambros. 1 on and 2 out.
Yeah, the big story for Harwich is a lot of new faces on their team, and they're retooling for a playoff run. You let go or have to cut ties with Kalen Culpepper and Seaver King. Obviously, you're probably your top 2 bats.
They call a balk and let Anderson go up to second base. So Chapman, who brisked through those first 2 hitters, has run into a little trouble with 2 out here in the first. Runner in scoring position. Lambros trying to drive him in. A .333 hitter this season, as you can see. Trying to play on that average a little bit. First pitch. Takes a strike.
Yeah, well, that last one, he just started going from the windup, and so Anderson took off, and then once he was about to throw the ball, he realized what he had done, and by the time he stopped, that's a balk.
0-1. A bell tie set. Chapman fires. Ooh, that ball is smoked down the left field line. Chasing over is Sherrod. He'll get it. Anderson will turn. Anderson scores without a throw. And pedaling in with an RBI double is Ethan Anderson. Beg your pardon, Elijah Lambros with a terrific piece of hitting. And Harwich strikes early, 1-0 with 2 out here in the first.
And that's what that ball can do, because you have a runner on first. They might send him. It might be a close play at the plate, but with Anderson on second after the balk, there's no chance he's not scoring on that double. And for Chapman, you're not a power pitcher. You got to make sure you can't live in the middle of the zone, and that pitch has got too much of it.
Now here's Devin Obie, center fielder, out of Duke. Cutting him is. Ball bounces off the plate. It's 0-1.
Has me all choked up, and we're not even through the top of the first.
0-1 to the center fielder. Hitting .220 for this summer with the M's. Runner in scoring position. Checks his swing. Ball bounces at the plate. Level count at 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. The rising junior from the Blue Devils. Chapman dealing for the third base side of the rubber. Deals home, and it gets through the wickets of Lastris. Escaping up to third base is Lambros, runner 90 feet away. And Obie has a terrific RBI opportunity here. Again, Chapman retired the first 2 batters fairly easily. Struck out Keister, got Carstander to ground out, then walked Anderson and gave up a double to bring home the first run of this ball game. 2-1. Top of the first. A runner on third with 2 out. Deals. Rocketed back where it came from. It drops down on Morton in center field. Back-to-back hits for the M's. Devin Obie scores Elijah Lambros, and it's 2-0 Harwich.
Yeah, the little things, once again, you get that wild pitch to advance the runner from second to third, and maybe he does score from second. He's running on contact. You got a pretty fast guy in Lambros coming around, but you should at least have a play with Morton's arm coming up firing, but you'll never get to know because a few free bases have thwarted that opportunity here in the first.
You get a look at that replay, courtesy of our good folks at Wareham Community Television, making the magic happen tonight and all season long. We go to the 6th spot, and the shortstop, Ali Camarillo, takes an inner third strike. The count goes to 0-1. Chapman desperately looking to get out of this. We talked about it. Camarillo, the only one in this lineup that was here on opening, or not opening day, but the first time that these two met early in the season. They count 0-2. Chapman looking for the put-away pitch. Runner takes off. Ball is low, and Lastris unable to get a throw-off. So a stolen base by Obi. Good jump there with 2 out, and Camarillo, if he can put it in the outfield, could get a 3rd run in here. Should feel huge putting Wareham in that hole early on. 23rd pitch of the night for the product of St. Thomas. 1-2, fires. Chop foul. A good crowd at Spillane Field. It's host family appreciation night. We'll get a chance to appreciate our wonderful host parents, Mike and Mary, after the game. But you saw a little bit of it, all the host families getting together before the game and getting a nice picture with their summer sons. 1-2. Just inside, 2-2. Only a few more games remaining at Spillane Fields. Mentioned we're back here on Sunday for Katuitt. And then after that, August 2nd will be the final game of the regular season against the YD Red Sox. I'll look back to second, and a 2-2. Up the middle, Cologne shuffles over, plays it at short, and a throw just a step ahead of Camarillo at first base. 6-3 goes the putout. So Chapman does recover, but gives up a couple hits. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Half an inning in the books. Gatemen going to try to play some catch-up on this Wednesday night. 2-0 Harwich on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham-based 80 Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is the world's largest cranberry grower and the largest private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal.
Tom and Gene Yawkey were passionate about baseball. Over 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox.
Welcome back. We move along here at Spillane Field. It is a Wednesday night with Jack Hutter. I'm Aiden Blank on the Gatemen Baseball Network. And Jack, Dominic Picone takes the mound. First time Wareham gets to see him.
Yeah, an A10 guy coming out of St. Joe's, previously of Rhode Island. He's a shorter guy, 5'7", 5'8", but brings the competitive mindset to the mound. He throws fastball, slider, curveball, relies upon the slider a lot. He had a great conference year. Out of conference and in some outings he blew up, which inflated his ERA at St. Joe's a little bit. But when he's rolling and he's hot, he can really get outs and string them together nicely. He pitched very well last week, but got the loss versus Falmouth because they got shut out.
There's the Wareham lineup. Cologne, Gonzalez, Brooks, Hussey, Sherrod, Hott, Brennan, Lastris, and Morton. Welcome back, Jimmy Brennan. Saw him in right field defensively, and we'll see him within these first couple of innings at the plate. But J.C. Cologne has been the star of this Gatemen offense recently, riding a nice little hit streak. That average of 241 may not look great. It was in the 190s just about a week ago. He has really hit the ball well these past few games. Takes a called strike, and Picone's day is underway. 0-1 settles out, level count. A hot night at Spillane Fields. But again, a good crowd. Ball fired out, 2-1. Two balls and one strike. Leadoff man Cologne. Pops it. Right side of home plate. Anderson, Arendt going for it, and the ball drops foul. An off day tomorrow for the Gatemen. Our next broadcast Friday night, our second trip of the season to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. A 6 p.m. first pitch. Also on the road for Falmouth on Saturday. 2-2 fouls it into the screen behind home plate, and the count stays where it is.
Yeah, look for the Gatemen to try to strike early and often tonight. Ryan Smythe has put the top 4 guys in the order who have been hitting the best recently.
Outside, 3-2.
Yeah, Cologne went 2 for 5 last night. Dorian had 2 hits last night. Brooks had 2 RBIs last night, and Hussey's riding a little 4-game hit streak.
Inside. Oh, they ring him up. Cologne halfway out of the box.
That was terrible.
He's rung up at home plate for the first out.
Second baseman, number 17, Dorian Gonzalez from the University
Yeah, that's tough because you
Miami.
wanted to, protect the play with 2 strikes, but also walking in this league is very important because pitching is great. Base running, is pretty rare.
Cutting a miss from Dorian Gonzalez, right fielder, second baseman out of Miami.
So if you can get your walks, you take them.
Going from St. Joe's, steals a strike, 0-2. Finished his first season at St. Joe's with a 5-6 record, a 4.5 ERA, made 14 starts. The count 1-2. He transferred there from Rhode Island, collecting the most wins. He gets a strikeout of Gonzalez, so he strikes out 2 of the hotter hitters in this lineup. Now faces third baseman Michael Brooks from Kansas. Hussey waiting on deck. Brooks swings through it. It's 0-1.
Pacone reminds you a lot of Derek Clark from last night. Small guy, a little bit of an underdog coming from a lower conference, but just going right at guys.
Inside, the count's 1-1. He provided the second lowest ERA at 4.5 for the Hawks. Ball's fouled away. They won more than 15 A-10 games for the first time since 2014, so St. Joe's clearly a program on the rise. Pacone, big part to it. Chop to short, Camarillo. Another one deep in the hole, and throws it over to Anderson at first base. A 1-2-3 first inning for Pacone. Wareham goes down in order, 1 inning in the books. We'll check in with Amanda Foster coming up next on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Canal Cruise for 2. A Hyannis Harbor Cruise for 2. $30 gift card to Seconds Count. $20 gift card to Ebb and Flow Spa. $20 gift card to Cornerstone Grill. A Cape Cod dinner train trip for 2. And of course, as always, the 50-50 cash prize. Hungry? Thirsty? Visit our food concession stand behind the Gatemen's bullpen in left field. We have all the burgers, dogs, chicken tenders, and fries you need to curb that hunger, along with water, Coca-Cola products, and Nantucket nectars to quench your thirst. If popcorn, slushies, and ice cream is
Welcome back to Spillane Field. One of the newest hitters in the lineup is third baseman Byram Hutt. And for more on that, here's Amanda Foster.
You'll enjoy the game even more.
Face on the Gatemen infield and Byram Hutt over at third base. And I talked to Ryan Smythe before the game. He said it was almost a no-brainer to bring Hutt in. Hott just finished his freshman season at Marist, had a very successful time there. He was named the MAC Rookie of the Year. And I talked to him before the game as well. He played his first game for the Gatemen last night against Orleans. And he said he already feels like he's getting better, even just playing just one game against all of these talented people out here on the Cape. And he said the thing he's most excited for in this next week out here is to keep improving and hopefully get better for next year. Guys.
Thanks, Amanda. We move along here in the second inning. Brian Arendt, Talmadge LaCroix, and Dan Rivera all due up for the M's. They sent 6 to the plate in the first, final 3 in the lineup bat in the second.
From UNC Wilmington.
Jack, very crucial that Chapman settles down, has a clean inning here if he wants to go, as long as some of his teammates have gone this season out of the starter's position.
Yeah, and for him, I think back to Aiden Major a little bit when he was struggling. It's just missing over the middle of the zone.
The catcher, Arendt, cuts through it 1-1.
You know, pitching is a very hard thing to do, but in turn, you got to be in the strike zone, and you can't be throwing cookies right down the middle. And Chapman, especially a guy that doesn't throw upper 90s, you got to really emphasize that.
The 1-1. Just a touch inside. They get the call, though, 1-2. Arendt, a rising junior from UNC Wilmington, his second summer in Harwich. 4 home runs for the Seahawks in 2023. He had a top play on SportsCenter's Top 10 Plays back on May 7th. Made a nice diving catch and was awarded the #1 spot. He was away from the team for about a week going to the Combine out in Phoenix. Chopped to third, charging Hott. And he throws over to Hussey at first. So once again, Chapman able to get the early out.
Third baseman, number 10.
The question now, can he build on it?
From South Carolina.
Yeah, Chapman's a guy that's going to pitch this some contact, so you're going to be able to really see how he's doing by the types of swings that Harwich is putting on. And right there, aren't just kind of rolling over, sending it to third.
Talmadge LaCroix into the corner, over to first. Are you kidding me? What in the world? Byram Hott, stay hot. They call it the hot corner for a reason, Jack.
Second baseman, number
Oh,
21,
man.
Daniel Rivera
That's hot pun
from
reference
Kansas
2
State.
and 3 of the young season for us up here in the booth, but what a great play by Byram. That's called staying with it. He didn't get the original hop, but kept his head up, kept looking for the ball, and made as strong of a throw as he could with his posture.
Just an unbelievable throw out of that corner from Byram Hott. And for the second straight inning, Chapman's retired the first 2 batters he sees. Daniel Rivera is the non-hitter. Takes a 1-0 off the plate. He'll get style points at third base, too. Kansas State Wildcat takes a 2-0 low to make it 3-0.
And I've really enjoyed watching Byram Hott play over the last 2 days. He hasn't been here for very long. He started the drive from Queens yesterday morning, but just seeing how he takes his reps in BP, seeing how he takes his reps on the field, how ready he is over the hot corner every single pitch. He's a guy that's working really hard, which is kind of rare at this point in the year. Guys get a little tired.
3-0 lands in the zone. It's 3-1.
These guys are still working hard, obviously, but you can see kind of a little tick up in intensity when you see Byram taking reps.
3-1, cracks it to center. That is down for a base hit. Rivera reaches with a 2-out single. Lineup turns over. Here's Kevin Keister.
Designated hitter, number 12, Kevin Keister from Maryland.
A Maryland Terp. Last 2 seasons, he's hit at least 300. 303 this season.
Every single person does.
The first pitch to him, runner takes off. It's a strike. Throw down is high, but in time. Lastris to Gonzalez, and Chapman pitches a clean second. A great rebound on the mound. No runs, one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Bottom of the second coming. Wareham trailing 2-0 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education in graduate study, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu.
This summer, our players are able to track and monitor their development thanks to our title sponsor of the 100-year anniversary, Baseball Cloud, whose data tells the whole story. Baseball Cloud gives fans like you the opportunity to access each player's stats and historical data. Baseball Cloud technology is ushering the next 100 years of the Cape Cod Baseball League, inspiring and exciting the next generation of players and fans. Learn more at baseballcloud.com.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the baseball diamond to the many lottery games.
Aiden and Jack with you. Happy Wednesday. Glad you could spend it with us on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Baseball and 100 more.
Chase Chapman gets out of the second inning thanks to a great throw from Renee Lastras. Now it's Hussey, Sheridan, Hott, all two up in this second inning. Grant, the first baseman out of West Virginia, just like JC, he's got a little hit streak going on. The Huss bus wheels in from his left side. First pitch, cracks it foul, just above us, 0-1. Cut and a miss, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. West Virginia's first baseman is at the plate. Here it comes. Ooh, a hard, high fly ball, but it's going to go well foul. Pulls it all the way on top of the equipment shed down the right field line, and the count holds. Oh, 2. High, 1-2. The 1-2. And now the count goes level, so Hussey battles his way back, leading off this inning. Pops it foul right side. And out of play, so he fights off a few pitches. Again, sticking around in this count. Pacone, in his second inning of work, retired all 3 batters he saw in the first. Deals. Back where it came from, a base hit for Hussey, dropping down in center field. He's got the first hit of the day. He's also Wareham's first base runner of the night.
That was a great swing by Grant. A big focus for him in batting practice over the past few days has been keeping his hands above the ball. When he makes poor contact, he oftentimes gets his hands real under the ball and uppercuts on the ball and slices it way up in the air. For him, just kind of staying level with the ball, trying to line the ball more and meet it a little straighter is what his focus has been, and it's been working there. That was a great swing.
Grant Sherritt at the plate. 5-hitter in this lineup out of left field. Opposite fields. And gone. Grant Sherritt gets one over the fence. And it's a 2-run home run to tie things up. Boy, that thing didn't look like it was gone. I don't think Lambros thought it was gone, but it goes over the fence nonetheless. And Grant Sherritt has homered for the second time this summer to level this game at 2.
That's the power of backspin. He backspun the heck out of that baseball. He hit it hard in the spin, and the ball just kept carrying and carrying up and out. And Sherritt, a big guy, has a ton of power, and when he lets the ball get deep and keeps the barrel in the zone, that's the second Oppa homer of the year. He can do much more of that.
Brand new ball game at 2-2. Byram Hott lines one, but right at the second baseman River. First out of the inning, a much needed first out for Pacone.
Even that was a great swing.
Yeah.
He just got jammed a little bit, so he didn't really get able to extend it. But you got to love the Gatemen approach at the plate so far.
Welcome back, Jimmy Brennan. Ball one high to the right fielder. Jimmy's also caught this summer. A low strike 1-1. We mentioned played 3 games for the Gatemen in the beginning of the year, was released, and has now come back. Swings through it 1-2. Jimmy excited to be back, batting with 1 out in a 2-2 ball game. A delayed swing. Arendt goes over to first to complete the strikeout. So 2 out of the inning, and now it's the catcher, Renee Lastris. Had a great throw to end the top of the second. Now looking to start a rally with 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
Good to see the Gatemen get going in the first 2 innings. Recently, that's been an issue. They got no hit by the starter on Friday and then on Monday.
Going down early. Now, they've had a couple of long losing streaks, and in both of them, going down early was a very big thing. Looked like that was where it was headed tonight, but they battled back and tied this thing. Renee lofts one, right center fields. It's brought in out in center for the final out as Devin Obie puts it to rest. But Grant Sherrod ties this thing up on 1 swing. Wareham able to get 2 runs back on 2 hits with no errors and no one left. Let's go to the 3rd. Wareham trailing, beg your pardon, we're tied at 2 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Here you'll find locally focused community news online daily and in print weekly. News that's always free thanks to the support of local advertisers. Visit WarehamWeekToday.com where you can access all 4 papers or pick up a copy at hundreds of businesses and other locations around your town.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves, while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services.
Designated hitter, number 12, Kevin Keister.
Back to the top of the lineup as Harwich comes to the plate in the top of the 3rd inning with Jack Hunter. I'm in blank on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Wareham down 2-0, but they tie things up 2-2 on Grant Sherrod's 2nd home run of the summer. And now a brand new ball game as Kevin Keister, the leadoff man in this lineup, comes to the plate. Takes a ball that spins off the edge, 1-0 to the designated hitter. He struck out to lead off this ball game. 1-0, swings through it and lets the bat go flying out of his hands. Now a level count at 1-1. Wareham's bat boy retrieving it. Ready to go again.
try for an, he said for a wingspan.
1-1. Roll to short. JC's had a lot of action there, a high throw, but a strike nonetheless to Hussey. First out of the inning. Keister starts his day 0 for 2.
Good job by JC. You need to charge the ball on this stone dust infield because you don't really know whenever it's going to take a pop up, but you also don't want to recklessly charge it. So being able to know when to pounce on the ball is a valuable skill.
Batter now is Kevin Karstetter. Fouls it away. Oh, left side of the infield, but Hott has stayed hot in that corner. Another one to Hussey. 6-3 and 5-3, 2 out in the third.
Great job by Byram. His body got turned around when he was fielding the ball, so he did a good job of shuffling his feet and setting himself before making the throw to Hussey, because a lot of times third basemen get kind of lazy with the feet. They get the ground ball and they'll try to throw on the run, or they won't really set their feet and they either airmail the first baseman or skip it to him.
Ethan Anderson fouls it away. In the first inning, Chapman retired Keister and Karstetter 1 and 2 very easily, but then ran into trouble walking Anderson, giving up hits to Lambros and Obi to score those 2 runs. Trying to avoid repeating that here. Delivers it 0-1. Another one to JC. Another friendly hop on the run. And 3 consecutive groundouts. Make it a 1-2-3 third. The first 1-2-3 inning for Chapman on the day. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 2.5 in the books. Chapman starting to settle in. Gatemen starting to settle in. 2-2 ball game on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
With ice cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle empty bottles, cans, and other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
The sound Dunkin' Ice makes? Of course you do. It's the sound of summer. And summer sure does sound good. Try all the Dunkin' refreshers, iced coffee, cold brew, and latte. Dunkin' Ice, Cape Cod Baseball League, runs on Dunkin'.
It's 9-1 and 2 as we go to the third, the last of it. With Jack Hunter, Amanda Foster, Blank on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Our entire Gatemen media team on hand. First pitch, swing and a miss. UConn's Corey Mortenstad. Just 2 more games at Spillane Field this season after tonight. 3 more home games. Polar Park on Monday. Another wave and a miss. Morton in an 0-2 count. Had that big night at Bourne. Homering for his first Gateman hit. Also drew a walk. Game 2 of that doubleheader. Now he's set down on strikes. 4 consecutive batters retired by Pacone. Other than Hussey and Sherrod, where he ran into some trouble there in the middle of the order, he's breezed through this Wareham lineup for the first time.
Yeah, and you can tell he's a starter because he's been able to go with the ebbs and flows of the game and bounce back strong.
First pitch. Strike to J.C. Cologne, the shortstop who struck out in at-bat number 1. Wave and a miss, can't catch up, it's 0-2. Pacone only 33 pitches into this game. He's on great track to go as long as they need him, and he makes JC look silly. fifth strikeout of the ball game. As he retires Missouri shortstop and now faces Dorian Gonzalez to try and get this last out.
It looks kind of like a cutter or a tight slider that he's going to, getting a lot of swings and misses.
Dorian fouls away, 0-1.
You can keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorneys Glenn Hannington and
Jack, did you know you can keep that ball because of Glenn Hannington? Popped up, foul. It drops in front of Karstetter out in left.
Only if we could keep the foul ball. I think we should take this piece of plexiglass out because I think we got to stay on our toes. I want to catch a foul ball.
0-2 is delivered into the dirt. The count 1-2. Off day coming up tomorrow. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. 2-2. If the schedule holds, it'll be the final off day of the season. Two-two. Rocket swung over river and into right field. Gonzalez with a 2-out base hit.
Last two games, Dorian's looked like the left-handed version of Tommy Splain, just letting the ball get deep, not trying to do too much, just hitting some hard line drives, making solid contact. And you know, Dorian's not a guy that's got a ton of power. You got to know yourself as a hitter, but he's a guy that can hit line drives and hit them well. He's got good hands, and he shows them off there.
Michael Brooks fouls it away, 0-1. Well, Mike Mobbs had told him in batting practice when he was watching Tommy, hit like Tommy. He a line drive kind of guy. You don't need a ton of power. And he's moved himself up into the 2 spot. 0-1, low and out. There's been a lot of competition in that first and second spot with the exit of Nick McLean and Garen Caulfield's off tonight. Popped up, left side, foul ground and foul. So Dorian trying to make his mark the last week and a half or so of the regular season as a top of the lineup guy. Certainly wouldn't hurt to bring something like that back to Miami. Make himself useful there next spring. 1-2, Dorian takes off. The ball is slashed out to right field. Lambros puts it away. F9 concluding the inning. 4 up in the inning, 3 retired, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. 3 in the books. We're a third of the way home. We got a 2-2 ball game. 2 runs on 3 hits for each team. Let's move along to the 4th on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to find out more.
Baseball is the game we all know and love. That's why Plymouth natives Joe Flynn and Matt Walsh created the J&M Baseball Academy. The two are focused on steering young baseball players in the right direction to reach their maximum ability on and off the field. To learn more and get involved, call 508-317-8308 and make sure you follow JM Baseball Academy on Instagram for up-to-date posts.
Right fielder, number 25, Elijah Lambros from Maryland.
Welcome back worldwide on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Harwich coming to the plate in the 4th. Lambros, Obi, and Ali Camarillo. Looping breaking ball, ball 1. One ball and no strikes, a lift to fire. Another breaking ball, this time it's 1-1. Lambros, a double, scored the second of Harwich's 2 runs back in the first. Chapman starting to deal in his 4th inning of work. A high strike 1 and 2. Digs back in, 1 for 1 on the day. Pitch number 46 out of Chapman's arm. Drop by Lastris, gets to the backstop, and the count 2 and 2.
Biggest difference for Chapman last inning is he was living low in the zone, so guys were just hitting the ball straight into the ground.
2-2 on the way. Fouls it off third base side.
Swings like those are exactly the type of swings you want. We saw 3 groundouts last inning, 2 groundouts in a scoreless second inning. It's looking like Chase is starting to find his groove.
2-2 on the way. Deals it inside 3 and 2. So thankful to have you with us. Amanda Foster, Jack Hunter, I'm Aiden Blank. Good to be with you. Chapman with a bad walk there to lead off the 4th inning.
Well, and another thing he's done well up until now is retire leadoff hitters. Struck out the guy in the first, 5-3 put out in the second, 6-3 put out in the third. When you put a leadoff runner on, obviously your chances of getting a run home are much higher.
Devin Obie, center fielder, swings through it 0-1.
But ground ball pitcher like Chase Chapman, you're never really in trouble until guys get into scoring position. A ground ball could wipe out two batters here.
He would take a ground ball here. The count is 0-1. He picks off to first. But Lambros, no threat at all. 0-1. He has the sign he likes. Chapman ready and delivers. Inside, gets off Lastris, up to second base. And a long turn from Lambros, who gets the free base. Now a 1-1 count coming to Obie. Rising junior at Duke. 232 average in his sophomore season, 10 RBI. Ranked 8th on the team in slugging, 9th in on-base percentage. 1-1, and inside strike 1 and 2.
The righty Lambros standing in. Crouch down, still hands. Cracks one, left side. Cologne's got it on the backhand on a hop. Long throw across, and Hussey can't skip it out. It'll be an infield single for Elijah Lambros, who now has 3 straight 2-hit performances.
Center fielder, number 24, Devin Obie from Duke.
So apologize for the technical difficulties that appear to be happening. Your score, Harwich 3, Wareham 2. We're in the top of the 6th. Here's the all-star Devin Obie with Lambros off first. Obie cracks one to left. Coming on is Sherrod. He'll have to play it on a hop. Loud sound, which got Sherrod moving back, but he hit it off the end, so didn't crank it too much. 2 runners on.
Shortstop, number 30, Ali Camarillo from Texas A&M.
Here's Ali Camarillo, another all-star. All-Star holding a little bit more meaning for the Harwich Mariners as they were the ones to host the All-Star game. Over 6,000 people there to see it. An incredible experience, especially for those in the West, because the West won 7-1. Hep misses high with the first pitch.
He put on a great show. He really did.
Harwich, I think outside of the home ballpark here, maybe my first or second place stadium. It's that and Katuitt for me. Love the backdrop at White House Field. Runners go. Pitch is a strike. Throw down to third is a strike. And Lambros is a dead duck. Harwich continuing to run themselves into outs at third base.
Second time tonight that Lambros has run himself into an out at third base. The base running has been an issue for them. It's cost them multiple runs. They could be up 5-6-2 right now. But Wareham has played heads-up defense and kept it at 3-2.
Obi does the wise thing and follows the lead runner, so at least he moves into scoring position, but there are now 2 outs. Epps' curveball misses outside. Camarillo has been a light-hitting infielder for Harwich this year. In the first 2 matchups between these 2 teams, he went 0 for 7. Ali is just hitting a tick over 200 this year. He's hitting 205, but has provided great defense for Steve Engler's club this year. Goes up the ladder. Camarillo swings and misses. Count level, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Camarillo's going to reset. Looking to pad the lead a little bit for the Mariners. Yanked outside, full count. Brian Arndt is on deck. Gatemen are just looking to maybe get the lead or tie it soon, so when Aiden Moza, if he comes in the game again, doesn't come in with the lead. The All-Star has mowed the Gatemen down this year in 2 separate outings. 3 perfect innings with 6 punch-outs in the first one. 2 innings, just 1 hit, no runs, 5 strikeouts in the second. Payoff pitch on the way. Cut and a miss. Hep gets out of it. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th with Harwich still holding on to a 1-run lead here from Spillane Field. Dominic Picone has the lead and is through 5 solid innings. He's out here going to the bottom of the 6th, looking to add another one to his docket. He has started to rack up the punch-outs. He's got 5 now. He's set down 7 consecutive batters, but he has the top of the order to face here in the bottom of the inning. That's J.C. Colon, Dorian Gonzalez, and Michael Brooks. Picone, who pitched for 3 years for the Rams of Rhode Island in the A-10, made the intra-conference move, going to St. Joe's to play for the Hawks this past year. Colon shows bunt. He gets it down. Picone sprawls off the mound and makes a nice barehanded peg to first.
Little PFP there.
Pitcher fields the position for the first out. Here's Dorian, who had a nice line drive single in the 3rd. And rolls over to first. Knocked down by Anderson. He'll take it himself for a quick second out. And Picone could really get into the 7th inning at this point. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but the amount of quick outs he's been getting, we talked about he set down 7 straight coming into this inning. He has now retired 2 quick straight. That's 9.
He's only throwing 61 pitches. That's about 10 per inning.
Very Garrett Clark-esque performance. We saw Clark with Orleans last night. Bacone saved his best work for conference play this year. He had a 1.38 ERA in his last 5 regular season conference starts. Got deep in a ton of games. He had a 2.74 conference ERA, which led the A10 this year. Popped out of play. He's got the kind of strictly business mojo on the mound. Seems like nothing's rattled him. He's working quickly, laser focused. 1-2 pitch. Just down. Bacone wanted it. He's going to have to turn around and make another one. And he does. Dominic Bacone strutting off the mound. He's a man on a mission. He's retired 10 straight, and we go to the 7th. His Harwich Mariners have a 3-2 lead.
And other places only accessible by rail.
James Hepp returning to the mound, slowly turning into a pitcher's duel from Spillane Field. It's 3-2 as we go to the 7th here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, alongside our producers Rachel Manning and Braden Schenk, my broadcast partner Aiden Blank. Jack Hunter with you here on a nice Wednesday night in July with just 7 games left to play for both of these ball clubs. The sense of urgency a little higher for the Wareham Gatemen, who are in the cellar of the West. They're looking to climb out of it, 11 points down. There is a possibility that they will be eliminated from postseason contention tonight. 3 different events would have to happen. Falmouth would have to get a point through either a tie or a win. Bourne would have to win, and Wareham would have to lose. But it's getting to that point in the year. You need some help, and you need to get a win yourself. First pitch to the catcher, Brian Art, is in there for strike 1.
Well, the good news is that 2 of those 3 things are happening, but not all 3 right now. Wareham is losing, but Orleans and Falmouth are tied, top of the 5th, 2-2, and Katuitt leads Bourne 7-5, bottom of the 4th.
Crack to the middle, but Gonzalez shaded perfectly. His throw to first is also perfect for the first out.
The other 2 scores from today at Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford this morning. The Harbor Hawks of Hyannis beat the Red Sox of Yarmouth Dennis 8-0.
They almost no-hit them. You
Yeah.
see, they had a no-hitter for a long time. Yarmouth Dennis only getting 1 hit on the board.
2.5-hour game, really good baseball. The Harbor Hawks are a team, a force to be reckoned with.
First pitch to Talmadge LaCroix outside, and if Katuitt loses tonight, it'll still be a 1-point deficit.
Yes.
Hyannis could pass him tomorrow for first place. LaCroix from South Carolina foul tips it into Lastras's glove.
And the other score, Brewster 5 and Chatham 1 at Stony Brook Field. Brewster's wins over Chatham, their last 2 have really put them, you know, that much further ahead of the Anglers. They'll be in position within the next few games to eliminate them.
LaCroix takes it inside. Talmadge LaCroix just finishing his sophomore year with South Carolina, was teammates last summer in the Coastal Plains League with his teammate Elijah Lambros here. He was South Carolina teammates with Lambros before he transferred to Maryland for this past year. He grounds 1 to third. It eats up hot. Cologne trying to follow through. And they call him safe to the shock of the Wareham faithful. It's going to go down as a hit for now.
From Kansas State.
Take a look at the replay. Oh, I think he was out.
I think he was out too. Unless, I mean, they would have signified that Hussey's foot was on the base.
Oh, we got the
wasn't on
rewind.
base.
He's out. I mean, if Hussey's foot is on the back, he's out.
I think so too. And Ryan Smythe is right up there.
Our umpire tonight, Chris Kane behind the plate. Mike Hinojosa at first base. He was behind the plate last night for the Gatemen in their matchup against Orleans. And then William Bowers is at third. So Smythe just wanted a conversation. The play is not going to change. It's going to go down as a hit. Byram Hott couldn't field the hop. Cologne did behind him. A good job by JC to back him up. So a base runner here. Heps through 2 innings, looking to get through 2 2/3 and finish this inning. First pitch to Daniel Rivera, misses high.
We don't have replay review, Jack. We can't put the umpires under the hood. They could go back into the WCTV control room and take a look.
Rivera, who's going to the D1 level to Kansas State next year, spent the last few years at Southern New Hampshire in the NE10 conference at the D2 level. Had a monster year this past year. Take strike 2. He also had a monster game so far. Single in the second, an RBI double in the fifth. That's been the separation so far between these two ball clubs. 3-2 Harwich. Top 7, 1 out. Hep can't get down on the curveball. Evens the count. Nice breeze. We've seen it tonight. Help push Sherrod's ball out of the ballpark. It's blowing out to right. 81 degrees was our game time temperature. Foul tipped, but out of the glove of Lastris, and Rivera has new life. Rivera did not play in Harwich's 7-5 loss to the Bourne Braves yesterday. Harwich had 13 hits. 7 out of their 9 guys in their lineup had knocks, but no extra base hits. Sliced out of play. Bourne scored 4 in the top of the 8th to take the 7-5 lead, which they did not surrender. So doing the Gatemen no favors, allowing Bourne to get another win in the win column and getting closer to clinching a spot in the playoffs. A check swing. Rivera working a good at-bat here against the 6'7" James Hep in his 8th appearance of the season. Hep has been with the team for most of the year. And just like another guy in the bullpen, Jake Faherty, getting some usage this summer after really not pitching very much at UCLA and either of his first 2 seasons. Slash to left. Rivera now has 3 hits on the night. Sherrod cuts it off with the backhand, but Rivera's speed is going to get him to second. 2 doubles, and now the Mariners with 2 runners in scoring position in the 7th.
Designated hitter number 12, Kevin Keister from Maryland.
To the top, here's Kevin Keister. The Gatemen infield moves in as the Maryland Terp heads to the dish. And with that, Ryan Smythe goes out. He makes the call. He wants Jackson Reed to try to get the Gatemen out of these troubles. And he's going to take the ball from Hep, who gets through 2 1/3. It was a good outing for James. But he's going to leave in some trouble. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll introduce you to Jackson Reed, new pitcher here for the Wareham Gatemen. Ryan Smythe turns to the 6'7" right-handed hurler, Jackson Reed. Reed got the Gatemen to a win last week at Mass Maritime versus Falmouth, pitching 2 innings and securing the win for himself when the Gatemen took the lead in the bottom of the 8th. They turned to him a little earlier tonight. Harwich a 3-2 lead with 2 runners in scoring position. They've got a great back end to their bullpen, so it's important to keep them off the board here. Alongside Rachel Manning and Braden Schenk, our producers, and my broadcast partner, Aiden Blank, Jack Hunter with you. It's Reed, who's going to Western Carolina next year. Previously with Lenore Ryan facing the Maryland Terp, Kevin Keister. First pitch to Keister. Just misses outside. Keister, another guy that it was a recent acquisition for Steve Englert, looking to fill some offensive production. He's gone 5 for 8 in his last 2 games, a double included. Lastris is going to go off to talk with Reed. Got the chance to talk with Jackson before the game. He's excited about the chance to head to Cullowhee next year and play for the Catamounts. He said his old pitching coach at Lenore Ryan before this past year left to go to Western Carolina, so it's just awesome that he gets to reunite with him. Sets away from the belt. Line drive slashed. Foul. Kevin Keister from Smyrna, Delaware, standing at 5'9". He's had back-to-back really solid seasons for the Terps. And he's able to lay off the breaking ball. Keister appeared for Brewster last summer, 11 games. Takes a breaking ball for strike 2. So if you get the strikeout, the infield can move back, can breathe a little easier. Keister choked up on the bat. The 2-2. The appeal all the way down to second. Mike Hinojosa says he did not go. It's a bad place to appeal. Mike Hinojosa is all the way down at second. How is he supposed to see? So Keister has new life after the Gatemen dugout chirped the men in black a little bit. And Keister has more life as he fouls it back. There's a look at Gene Bowles, assistant coach down there. In his second year at the Cape, first one with the Gatemen. Spent 2019 with the Whitecaps with Ryan Smythe, and Ryan Smythe brought him on staff this year. Assistant coach at Point University down in Georgia. Payoff pitch. Cut and a miss, strike 3.
Should have been 2 pitches ago.
Reed finally gets the strikeout. A big one for the second out.
Left fielder, number 34.
And it's up to the Manatee turned Sun Devil, Kevin Karstetter. How about that for mascots? He was originally committed to be an Owl at Florida Atlantic, chose to be a Manatee at the State College of Florida, where he just shredded the competition the past 2 years, and is going to be a Sun Devil for Arizona State in just a few short weeks. Big opportunity here with the Mariners. He fouls the first pitch back.
Sparky's the man.
Karstetter was the FSCAA Player of the Year this past year. Led the entire country at the junior college level in hits and doubles. He's a big guy, 6'3", facing an even bigger guy on the mound that's 6'7". Lifted, right field. Jimmy Brennan's back. He's got it, and the Gatemen escaped the inning despite some adversity thrown their way. Good job by Jackson Reed to do some damage control, and it's time to stretch things out from Spillane Field. It's Harwich 3, Wareham 2 here from the friendly confines in Wareham. Dominic Picone has just needed 70 pitches to get through 6 innings, and he's out for a 7th inning of work. No, this is not school ball. This is here in the Cape Cod Baseball League, putting up video game numbers. 70 pitches through 6 innings, 51 strikes. And he's going to try to get through this big 7th inning with the middle of the Gatemen lineup in their way. Hussey, Sherrod, and Byram Hott, 4, 5, and 6 for the home team wearing the Cranberry Reds tonight.
West Virginia.
Harwich looking to catch Orleans for 2nd place in the East. The Gatemen looking to catch the last playoff spot. And Picone's first pitch is a curveball that misses low. Just off the plate, Picone has experience going deep into ball games, especially in the A-10 this year. We mentioned his league best 2.74 ERA in conference play, but a big sample size as Hussey cracks one foul out of play. Pitched 8 scoreless innings versus Fordham, 6 2/3 versus UMass, 6 scoreless versus VCU, 6 2/3 versus Dayton. As Hussey takes it, 3-1 count. He pitched 70 innings for the Hawks, but he loses Grant Hussey to begin the bottom of the 7th. The Gatemen have been haunted by the ghost of Aiden Moza, who in the last 2 games, 2 meetings between these 2 teams, has just shredded the Gatemen bats. And he should be available tonight. The last time he pitched was the All-Star game on Saturday. Grant Sherrod takes the first pitch for a strike. Moza in the first matchup, 3 perfect innings, 6 strikeouts. In the second matchup, 2 innings, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, just 1 hit. Quick strike 2 to Grant. That's 5 innings, 11 strikeouts, no runs, and just 1 hit allowed in those 2 appearances. Hussey, shot to second. Rivera flips to short for 1. Camarillo's not going to be able to turn it. Rivera was losing his footing over there. It'll be the first out. 4-6, fielder's choice in the book. And here's Byram Hott. Byram Hott, the MAC Rookie of the Year. It's a dream come true of his to play in the Cape Cod Baseball League. He's in his 2nd game with the team tonight, his first one playing in the field. Picone is going to take a walk on the backside of the mound, refocus himself. Hott stepping out of the batter's box, doing the same. Hott's going to take a tight slider high in the zone to level the count. Hott hit .382 for the Red Foxes this past year. Sends one left side through, a base hit into left field. Byram Hott gets his first hit of the evening, and the Gatemen have something brewing here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 runners on with just 1 out.
Well, they've kept it close. They don't need a huge rally, just a few runs, and they can take this lead.
Here is Jimmy Brennan. He was an opening day Gateman back here at the end of the season. He said he's been hitting regularly, waiting for the opportunity to come back to the Cape. And here he is. He takes strike one. He turned down offers to play in other leagues because he wanted to come back here. And with 7 games left, here he is. And he bloops one. Left field, down for a base hit. Sherrod's getting the wave. He's coming around, and he will score with the slide. Jimmy Brennan coming up huge, and the ball game is tied. Welcome back.
Making an impact already. You love to see it.
Fans, join us in wishing happy birthday to the next batter, the catcher, number 7, Renee Lastris.
About a month and 2 weeks after he was released, he comes back, he gets his first Gatemen hit. It's a big one. And now a meeting on the mounds. Bacone has gotten through 6 1/3. He was pitching a dandy, but this may be it for him. R.J. Thomas, the pitching coach for the Mariners. Steve Englert, the head man. Englert just got his 400th win here in his 20th season as Harwich's manager. And that will be it for Dominic Bacone. What an outing it was for Bacone, but his hat lifted above his head. He's disappointed that he will be removed from this game. He's disappointed that he can't finish it and that he'll leave with a no decision. He'll turn to give the ball to the new Mariner on the mounds. And when we come back, we'll introduce you to him. Number 6, Dax Daffy on the other side. The birthday boy stands in against Dax Daffy, the birthday boy Renee Lastris, of course. He could celebrate with an RBI here to try to give the Gatemen the lead. Daffy appearing for the 3rd time for the Mariners today. The big righty swings a fastball high. Daffy throws fastball, slider, changeup. Limited time with the Texas Tech Red Raiders this past year. 5 appearances, 3 innings.
She was right near there. Paul Smith's.
Lastris cuts and misses.
I remind pretty often.
Deep breath. and missing outside. Dathey is headed to Angelo State next year, a Division II powerhouse. How about the Division II impact on this game? Daniel Rivera from Southern New Hampshire in the 9-hole, 3 for 3 for Harwich. Jimmy Brennan from Post with that RBI here. And the future D2 pitcher. It's a swing and a miss from Renee.
Not me.
See, they could do that, but
Tom?
they would lose some of it.
Southern New Hampshire and Angelo State clashed in the D2 College World Series this past year. Swing and a miss from Lastris. A beautiful breaking ball cuts him down for the second out. It's up to Corey Morton. If I remember correctly, Angelo State won the D2 National Championship. They almost won 60 games. So Dathey pitching here for the third time, as we mentioned, faces Corey Morton. 2 runners on, the go-ahead run on second. Morton swings and misses through strike 1.
They do shrink up a little
Bacone
bit.
gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, but he's responsible for the 2 guys on base. Just missing low. Chris Kane behind the plate, calling it such. William Bowers at third, Mike Hinojosa at first. The 38th game of the year for both of these clubs. Runners go. Pitch is a strike. Throw to third is late. Arndt is arguing that Corey Morton was in his way. So is the Harwich dugout, but a double steal puts 2 runners in scoring position.
And you'll notice he did kind of do a double take there. He pumped the first time he tried to throw. If he had let it go, maybe he gets him.
Well, Morton has a right to be in the batter's box.
We got plenty of West Virginia guys on this team.
90 feet closer. A 1-2 to Corey. Sails high. It's a wild pitch, and the Gatemen have the lead. The double steal works to perfection as Byram Hott comes around and scores. You move the runner to third, next pitch, get him in. It's a 4-3 Wareham advantage here in the bottom of the 7th. Corey Morton looking to tack on 1 more. And Dathey prevents it with a big strike 3, but damage done here and a crazy bottom of the 7th inning. The Gatemen get 2 hits, 2 runs, and leave 1 stranded. No errors for the Mariners. We go to the 8th. It's 4-3 good guys as Jackson Reed steps on the mounds. We'll have his 8th inning next here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The winner is ticket number 7.
Back to the 8th here from Spillane Field in 8 in the Gatemen taking the lead in the bottom of the 7th. We were talking about earlier in the game, off of the air in between the innings. This team just feels a little grittier tonight. You're seeing them take the extra base, playing with a little bit more heart and effort tonight.
Yeah, they've channeled their inner June 10th to 14th Wareham Gatemen, just gritting it out to get a victory here, and hopefully it can hold the last few innings.
Jackson Reed tasked with doing it. First pitch to Ethan Anderson, misses low. Reed, as we mentioned, closed out the Falmouth win last week at Massachusetts Maritime Academy. He came in the game in the 8th, pitched the final 2 innings, got the win when the Gatemen took the lead in the bottom of the inning. Now a 2-0 count to the 3-hole hitter Ethan Anderson, who's walked and scored, retired in his other 2 trips to the plate. Anderson coming into tonight, 4 for 11 in his last 3 games. He takes a blazing fastball for strike 1. Reed throws hard, not extremely hard, but when you consider how much he extends down the mound with his long arms and his long frame, the ball really zips on hitters. You can tell by their swings. Popped up. This one's going to get to the seats. Even count. Elijah Lambros and Devin Obie to follow Anderson, the Virginia Cavalier. He's been struggling this summer at the Cape, hitting the baseball, but can he turn it around? Slaps one to right. Brennan going to his left has it for the first out. What can't Jimmy Brennan do?
Right fielder, number 25, Elijah Lambros from Maryland.
Here's Lambros now with 1 out. Lambros bobbing around in the box. Reed a slow set and pumping a first pitch strike. Lambros debuted just 5 days ago versus Hyannis. And takes it high. He hasn't been retired tonight. That's been a constant theme, including tonight. He's now got 3 consecutive multi-hit efforts. The Fredericksburg, Virginia native sees the 1-1 in the zone. He and Kevin Keister, teammates at Maryland. And a swing and a miss for out number 2. Reed with another hot fastball.
Center fielder, number 24, Devin Obie from Duke.
Devin Obie, the last batter due up here. If he can extend the inning, Ali Camarillo would be next up. First pitch misses high. It's been 4 up, 4 down for Jackson Reed. 2 punch outs. And now a ground ball to short. Cologne's got it, slings it to first in a 1-2-3/8 inning for Jackson Reed. We go now to the bottom half of the 8th after a 3 up, 3 down inning. The Gatemen looking to tack on some insurance here from Spillane. Jimmy Brennan's RBI single, the difference maker tonight. Brennan slapped one in the 7th inning into left center field for his first hit in a Wareham uniform. And his return coming strong tonight.
Shortstop number 32,
J.C. Cologne at the top of the order, facing Dax
Missouri.
Daffy. Daffy got the last 2 outs. He struck out the last 2 hitters of the bottom of the 7th. Hopefully last chance for the Gatemen. Daffy yanks the first one outside to JC, who's got a hitting streak to extend. 5 games, he's hit 7 out of his last 8. In that 8-game stretch, hitting .296. He's really getting the batting average up, looking a lot more comfortable. He spins out of the way of an inside fastball.
And in those last few games, he has waited till the very end of the game to get that hitting streak extended. Waited till the last at bat last night.
They went back and gave him another hit. He really reached on an error in the 2nd, and then they overturned it overnight. So at the time, that 9th inning knock, the single, was the one to extend it. But after scoring review, he's getting another hit in the 2nd inning from last night. Now 2-1, outside. So Daffy looked really solid in his first partial inning. Spent 2 years at Grayson College. And he walks Cologne. Spent 2 years at Grayson, then went to Texas Tech, and now going to Angelo State.
Number 17, Dorian Gonzalez from the University of Miami.
Grayson College rings a bell. Josh Bostic, a starter for Harwich, who pitched twice against the Gatemen, got drafted this year out of Grayson College. Here's Dorian. Dorian Gonzalez from the left side. Takes a first pitch slider on the outside corner. Gonzalez, a good bit over 200 now with the batting average, hitting .215. He's been trending upwards lately. Been more level at the ball, hitting line drives. Back pick to first, close play. Cologne back in there safely, says Mike Hinojosa. Mike Mobbs giving the signs out at third. He's been working with a lot of these hitters at the plate, crafting their approaches in a league that is known for being hard to hit in. Pitch gets away from Arndt. A wild pitch will move Cologne to second. A runner in scoring position with nobody out. Hitters count for Dorian Gonzalez. He's trying to find a cookie here. And he'll find ball 4 instead. 2 runners on. So Daffy had the control in the 8th.
Hitter, number 5,
now doesn't have it.
Brooks from Kansas.
And that'll get R.J. Thomas out to the mound, the pitching coach. Ryan Smythe, meanwhile, going to the third base side. He's going to talk strategy with the hitting coach, Mike Mobbs, as Michael Brooks about to stand in. Bullpen stirring for the Mariners. The Mariners used 3 guys out of the bullpen last night, including their closer. They used 2 guys the night before. This is just a meeting to the mound. Talking strategy. And the Kansas Jayhawk, Michael Brooks, stepping in. Brooks shows bunt, pops it up, but on a bounce. Arndt gets it, and a that sack bunt does his job. Runners now on second and third.
Michael Brooks 0 for 4, but does a job
First
there.
baseman, number 27, Grant Hussey.
Exactly
West
what was
Virginia.
needed. And now sets up Hussey.
So it'll go 2-3 in the book on the sack bunt. And they'll intentionally walk Grant Hussey. They want Grant Sherrod, who hit a home run earlier in this game.
Interesting move. Sherrod scored 2
Left
runs
fielder,
today.
number 4, Grant Sherrod from South Carolina upstate.
Your Sherrod sitting on deck. You see they point to first for Hussey. They want to pitch to you here. And they also want a favorable scenario here with 1 out. Also now the force play at home. Sherrod cracks one to right field. Going back as Lamos. It's over his head. You want Sherrod, you got him. Here comes Story into the plate. Close play, head first slide. Out at the plate. Damage is done though. 1 run does come across. Sherrod is on second base.
Third baseman, number 36, Byron Hott from Marist.
So Cologne scored. Gonzalez was cut out at the plate. Hussey is on third base. Sherrod on second. Sherrod should get credited with the double. Here's Byram Hott looking to extend it even more. And he cuts and misses. How about the evening from Grant Sherrod snapping an 0 for streak that extends a few days? He went 0 for 4 yesterday at Orleans. Had a tough night the day before us. Now Josh Stevenson's going to come out. He's going to pinch run for Grant Sherrod, but he needs a helmet though.
That's interesting.
So Sherrod 0 for his last 11 coming into today. A home run, a double, he scored twice, and now will be lifted for Josh Stevenson. Can the new Gateman, Byram Hott, come up big? And he has an even count.
Attention please, pinch runner at second base for Wareham, number 16, Josh Stevenson from Ohio State.
Hott had a hit in the big 7th inning for the Gatemen, in which they got across twice. And he takes a front door slider down. Daffy looks perplexed. Chop left side. Camarillo, big hop, big throw to first. Just in time. A great play by the all-star Ali Camarillo to retire Byram Hott. But the Gatemen get another run of insurance. A few walks help that cause. A double, the big blow in the inning. We go to the 9th. The Gatemen are 3 outs away from tying the season series with the Harwich Mariners.
Your attention, please. Defensive changes for Wareham. Staying in the game at left field is Josh Stevenson.
Jackson Reed
Shortstop,
has
number
5 outs.
Ali
He needs
Camarillo
3 more.
from
Some defensive
Texas
changes
A&M.
for the Gatemen as we go to the top of the 9th. Josh Stevenson stays in the game and left. Bobby Bozer comes in. He'll play center field. And Corey Morton shades over to right. So Jimmy Brandon's day is done. Jackson Reed has Ali Camarillo, Brian Arndt, and Talmadge LaCroix to deal with in the 9th. And Camarillo takes a first pitch strike. He didn't like it. Ali is 0 for 3. The only time he reached was on a fielder's choice. He got picked off. Planks one back to the scout deck. Ricocheted, and the fan made a nice grab. The 0-2. Right up the middle. Gonzalez, full extension to first. He goes with it. Show it off, Dorian.
Catcher number 11, Brian Arndt from UNC
One down.
Wilmington.
Brian Arndt now to the dish. He is 1 for 3. Man from UNC Wilmington. Skies one right side. Out of play near the shed. Arndt hitting .247 on the year. 2 homers, 9 driven in. Andrew Yu was the catcher yesterday. He's well rested. Chris Kane wanted to give strike 2. He lifted up, but could not follow through. The count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Just a tad high. Now 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, remember. What's that? No, the DNA thing. Yeah.
The Gatemen trying to get win number 14, which would surpass last year's win total. The last year's team went 13, 24, and 7. And Arndt gets hit. He's going to run to first and shake it off. Now the tying run comes to the plate. It is Talmadge LaCroix.
Third baseman, number 10, Talmadge LaCroix from South Carolina.
LaCroix is playing his 3rd game. He's just 1 for 4 coming into today. 1 for 3 this evening. Take strike 1.
If you're going to drive me insane, Bugs, you're choosing death.
Little excuse me swing. Makes it 0 balls and 2 strikes. Jackson Reed, after a standout career at Lenoir-Rhyne, is bumping up to the D1 level next year. He will be pitching for the Western Carolina Catamounts. At a 4.33 ERA, went 6-1 in 13 starts for the Bears. And the pitch gets away from Lastris. The wild pitch will move Arndt to second. So you're still concerned more about the guy at the plate, but you'd like to still hold on to this 2-run advantage and not stress out too much here in the 9th. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talmadge LaCroix out of South Carolina has saved his best play for big moments. Had 5 RBIs in the regional final this year for the Gamecocks and a big win over Campbell, 16-7. The 2-2. Got a full count. Reed yanks it outside. Back to the bump goes the 6'7" righty. With Arndt on second, he got hit, advanced to second on a wild pitch. Now the payoff pitch. LaCroix extends and stays alive. Those who have stayed have been treated to a ball game. A lot of nerves here in the building. And now the tying run moves to first. Reed issues a walk. And after starting 6 up, 6 down, the last 2 batters have reached due to control issues. Meeting on the mounds. Ryan Smythe's going out to talk to Jackson Reed. Some light action here in the Gatemen bullpen. The Gatemen are a little shorthanded just on the roster in general, and then you take into fact that they played a doubleheader on Monday. They used 2 pitchers yesterday.
Second baseman, number 21, Daniel Rivera from Kansas State.
Might be a little more shorthanded than your average ball club. Here's Daniel Rivera. We talked about the D2 footprints on this game. Here's Jackson Reed, Division II guy from Lenore-Rhine. Daniel Rivera, Division II guy from Southern New Hampshire. Both of them are making the jump to D1 next year. First pitch. In there, strike 1. Now it's the Mariners dugout turn to say some words in a heavy Bostonian accent. 0-1. Strike 2. Curveball. Outer half. Rivera's got speed. He stole 50 bases for Southern New Hampshire this past year, which was second in Division II baseball. So he's good at trying to stay out of double plays. Laster is trying to pull it back, but the pitch misses outside. Reaching out, poking it through the middle. Cologne's got to hurry. Throw to first, head first slide. He's out. A big second out. J.C. Cologne coming up huge.
Designated hitter, number 12, Kevin Keister from Maryland.
And the Gatemen are 1 out away. It's up to Kevin Keister, who is 0 for 4. Reed starts him out with a fastball that misses low. Jackson Reed got a similar win just last week, 6 days ago, versus the Commodores. Team gets the lead, he holds on. Can he do it here? And he's a strike closer. Reed, who was a starter this past year, has made most of his bucks at the collegiate level in a relief role. Keister went 3 for 3 in the 9-hole yesterday. Got bumped to the leadoff spot. A promotion.
Obi back in. Chapman ready for him. Runner in scoring position. Nobody out, 1 and 2. Here at the top of the 4th inning. Chase fires. Slash to right field and caught on the line by Brennan. Welcome back. Jimmy makes a play for out number 1.
Tough play for Jimmy to make. He's not an experienced outfielder at all. He's a catcher by trade and trying to get his bat in the lineup tonight, but he looks somewhat natural making the grab there. The most important thing is he did.
Batter is Ali Camarillo, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. To an original Mariner. Inside 1-1. We're all knotted up at 2. Grant Sherrod giving the Gatemen a little life offensively. Both starting pitchers have been in control for the majority of this game. 1-1, 1 out. Misfires, 2-1. Camarillo going to Texas A&M, but spent his sophomore season at Cal State Northridge, leading the team with a .371 average, second on the team with 65 hits. 2-1, Chapman working for the third base side of the rubber. It's grounded over to JC, who's turning to third, and they got him dead to right. Heads up play by the shortstop Cologne. Instead of the easy out at first, goes for what turned out to be an even easier out, turning it over to Hott at third, and they get the lead runner. That's got to feel great for Chapman on the mound. A fielder's choice puts Camarillo on.
Great job by J.C. Cologne recognizing that Lambros was running to third. I don't know really what he was doing, and Cologne just had to make a good throw. He did. Hott made a great tag. Lambros was trying to swim move him, but couldn't.
Brings up Brian Arndt. Never mind. They're going to pick Camarillo off, and he's done. Great way to finish what turned out to be a pretty successful inning. Chapman only faces 3 batters. He faces the minimum, giving up no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Bottom of the 4th coming up. 2-2 ball game on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Way to experience your favorite Cape League team, then staying with Del Mar Vacation Rentals. Book your dream vacation today at thisisdelmar.com or call us at 508-247-0395 and discover the beauty of Cape Cod, where lifelong memories are made. Del Mar Vacations and the Cape Cod Baseball League, your ticket to an extraordinary getaway.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. Aiden and Jack, good to have you with us on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Host Family Appreciation Night at Spillane. Hussey, Sherrod, and Hott coming up. Hussey and Sherrod, the ones who've done the damage offensively, trying to repeat that.
Yeah, and Picona's looked very solid. He's worked with a slider that looks like really a tight slider. It can look like a cutter sometimes that he's used against those righties that just bleeds off the plate. To lefties, will he be able to do that, or will he have to go more to his fastball that has some sink on it? But the Gatemen hitters have done a great job of letting the ball get deep and driving it the other way.
Hussey digs in, a single in the 2nd. Pops one a mile high, right side. River, Anderson, Lambros, who's going to get it? It's Lambros, the right fielder, to make out number 1. So Hussey gets underneath one and is put out. And now the guy responsible for both those Wareham runs, Grant Sherrod, strolls up, a home run in his one at bat tonight. His second of the summer. The first pitch to him. Hard hack and a miss. A 1. One of the fuller outfield bleachers we've seen this season. A number of fans have chosen to enjoy from the stands out in left field. Popped up, another one to right. Great communication once again. Lambros has it. 2 down.
Third baseman.
So both the troublemakers in this Gatemen lineup put out. Now it's time for Byron Hott. And Byron, he hit a very hard ball in his first at bat. It just was right at River. High and in, 1-0. 99% of the time, if you hit it that hard, it's going to go somewhere for a hit. Trying to repeat that here. 1-0. Swings through it. 1-1. Fouled away, 1-2.
I really enjoy watching Quicone pitch. Like I mentioned, you can tell he's a starter not only the way he bounces back from adversity, but how quick he works and how quick he attacks hitters. Because if you're a starter looking to get into the 6th or the 7th inning, you can't just be beating around the bush every at-bat.
Cracks one at third. Scooped up by LaCroix. Nice dig out by Anderson to conclude the inning. Wareham goes down 1-2-3 for the second time in this ball game. 5th inning coming up. 2-2 the score.
Whether it's auto, homeowners, business, or liability insurance, the folks at Legacy Insurance are sure to lend a helping hand. Legacy Insurance has built their reputation through their emphasis on service and loyalty to their customers. Stop into their Wareham office at 213 Main Street or call them at 508-295-1316.
Gatemen fans, you can be a hometown hero in the town you call home. In the Air National Guard, you not only serve your country, but also the community you call home when it needs the skills and resources that only the Guard can provide. With career and leadership opportunities, health care and education benefits, and the freedom to choose how you serve, you're able to become the best you in the Air National Guard.
Would you like to work for the United States Postal Service? We want you on our team. We have carrier openings all over the Cape. You must have a valid...
Welcome back. Let's go to the top of the 5th inning. Bottom 3 in the order due up
You can find all
for
of the information on these jobs and other open positions
Harwich.
at www.usps.com/career.
Brian Arndt
Your application
will lead
be
things
accepted
off after
online
Camarillo
only.
got picked
Begin
off
a
on the
great career
bases.
at the United States Postal Service.
Very weird 4th inning, but Chapman does get all 3 batters he sees out.
Weird in that Harwich made some base running blunders and the Gatemen took advantage of it. So it's good to see the Gatemen who have done this offensively make other teams pay for their mistakes.
First pitch low and out to the catcher. Chapman 57 pitches deep into his night. Turns and deals. Inside 2-0. Ryan Smythe needs just 1 win to guarantee that he will at the very least replicate last season's win total. Fouled away right side, 2-1 in his first season with the Gatemen. Anything more than that, and he will have at least had a more successful season than last year. I think around the organization, a lot of people judging his success this year based on a little bit on last year. The 2-1 coming in, and it goes out 3-1. Three balls and a strike. Chapman kicks and deals. Grounded to third and by hot for a base hit. Leadoff single for Aaron.
That ball was smoked. Aren't one of the all-stars for the Harwich Mariners this year. Definitely hit a baseball hard and just got enough of the barrel on it there. So even though he hit it into the ground, it was not going to be a routine play at all.
Now Talmadge LaCroix, third baseman, grounded out in his last at bat. Runner on and nobody out. Same situation Harwich had last inning. Outside 1-0. See if they can make it a little bit better this inning. Pick up a run. Chapman still working to the right of the rubber. Pickoff move, not in time.
Call ball.
There you go. Second balk of the game. The first one in the first inning, and it cost him when that run came to score. So here you go. Runner on second, nobody out. Huge opportunity for the M's to take that lead back. They led 2-0. Wareham tied it up on a 2-run homer from Grant Sharon. 1-0. To short, Cologne. Another turn to third. Are you kidding me? Multiple base running blunders for the Mariners. And once again, Cologne makes him pay.
Yeah, that wasn't even softly hit either. It's not like, you know, if a ball is softly hit, maybe you just beat it there. The ball was smoked. Cologne had the ball in his glove, you know, before he was in halfway to third base.
Back-to-back innings where the Mariners get the leadoff runner on and up to second base and then have him thrown out on a ground ball to the left side of the infield. You can see Chase Chapman smiling ear to ear on the mound as Ryan Smythe goes out to chat with him. He's in his fifth inning of work. He's got one out and a runner on first base. You would love to see him get through this and maybe, if the Gatemen can get a run in the bottom half of this inning, earn himself a win, whether he comes out for the sixth or not. One of the best things that has happened over the past couple of weeks with Wareham is that the longevity of their starting pitchers has just increased exponentially. No matter who it is, the starting pitching has gotten that much better. It has a lot to do with Ryan Smythe taking over, calling balls and strikes, but whatever has happened, the starting pitching has really done well, and Chapman no different. Ball gets out of Lastrus's glove, and down to second goes LaCroix. This is Dan Rivera, the second baseman out of K-State. Once again, Harwich a runner on second base, less than 2 out. Another opportunity you've got to convert. The 1-0 coming into the dirt, blocked by Lastrus.
Yeah, and this has been an interesting game because Harwich has ran into a lot of outs on the bases, and Wareham has given Harwich a lot of free bases. 2 balks now, some wild pitches, that last one a pass ball, and yet neither team, you know, they're just kind of offsetting each other with the mistakes being made.
The 2-0 delivery, got all of it, left center field, and over the head of the center fielder, Morton. Turning LaCroix, he'll score. Pedaling in with an RBI double, Dan Rivera. And the Mariners have a 3-2 lead. They get that lead back. Not much you could do there. He just barreled that thing up.
No, but once again, an extra base leading to an easy RBI. You know, if he didn't take second on that pass ball, you probably would have second and third with 1 out. That's still a very good chance to score, but scoring easily there because you already put him at second. So the Mariners retaking the lead, and that'll be all for Chapman, who I thought had spurts of good form today.
Chapman ran into a little trouble, but will end the day having given up just 4 hits. Still on the hook for Rivera out at second base, but if he doesn't score, it'll be 3 earned runs. He didn't leave a lot on base either. Chapman is done. Wareham goes to the bullpen. Let's see who's first out in just a moment on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Projection, please, ladies and gentlemen. Now pitching for the Gatemen, number 43, James Hepp, University of California, Los Angeles.
Here comes James Hepp to relieve our buddy Chase Chapman. Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. In blank, Jack Hunter, and Jack, he comes in a little bit of a tricky situation. A runner in scoring position, 1 out. First pitch. Struck to third, left side of the infield rather. Cologne ranges over, gets the out. 6-3 the put out. Karstetter comes up with a runner on third.
Well, Ryan Smythe made the mistake last night of leaving Will Koger out there for the 3rd time through the lineup. He let him face Joe Oyama for the 3rd time, and Oyama took Koger deep for the 2nd time. So getting Chapman out of the game after 2 full times through the lineup, getting your bullpen in the game as Keister comes to the plate for the 3rd time, the move pays off, at least for this batter.
Ball low and inside, 1-0. Hepp has had good outings and bad outings this year. Not a lot of consistency out of the righty from UCLA. Third pitch of the night. Tapped away, 1-1. Karstetter with a couple of groundouts, but he hits the ball hard. We were told by our friends David Dobek, Wyatt Kopelman, the Harwich broadcasters, that scouting reporters, that he hits it very, very, very hard. And they were not wrong. Takes a strike, 1-2. As we mentioned, top of his team in a whole bunch of categories. Checked his swing, and he's rung up. Karstetter starts his night 0 for 3, and Hepp hangs a run out at second base. In the inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and
Feel
1
the
runner
power of the
left
GMC.
on base.
Test drive one today.
We'll
at
mid-5
Robertson's
here
GMC.
at Spillane
Down
Field.
on
3-2
Cranberry
Harwich
Highway.
on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Wareham Walmart is your one-stop shop for all the essentials before and after the game. Visit them at 15 Toby Road in Wareham for all of your food, clothing, and more. Wareham Walmart is a proud supporter of the Wareham Gatemen.
After the game, visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack.
Back here in Wareham, we've talked about Host Family Appreciation Night. For a little more on that and what exactly happened before the game, here's Amanda Foster. Amanda?
Tonight is Host Family Appreciation Night here at Spillane Field, so all of the host families were honored with their players on the field before the game. Guys, host families have a unique experience this summer. They're able to have players live in their houses. They get to know them. It's a very fun experience for the families and the kids, but it's also a unique experience for the players a lot of the times. There are 3 players here, Garen Caulfield, Tommy Splane, and Nick McLean, 2 of them from Arizona and 1 from Arizona State. They all lived together. They were able to become very close friends despite the school rivalries, and that's because they were living with the host family. So it provides a lot of experiences for the players to get to know each other off the field as well as on the field. Guys.
Thanks so much, Amanda. We move to the bottom of the 5th, and for more on the bottom of the 5th and the rest of this ball game, here's Jack. Jack?
Thank you, Aiden. Dominic Picone still out on the mound, entering his 5th inning of work. Jimmy Brennan the first to face him, and he cuts and misses for strike 1. Picone has been mostly good tonight outside of a home run in the 2nd inning. Grant Sherrod was the one to tag him over the right field wall. Some wind and some backspin helped the ball get out as he misses with the breaking ball. He's got 5 strikeouts. He's retired 6 of his last 7. And evens the count against Post University's Jimmy Brennan, who is back with the team. He played in 3 games at the beginning of the year. And cuts and misses, takes an emergency swing for the first out. From one catcher to another, here is Rene Lastris.
From UNC Charlotte.
Lastris made some friends with some Harwich Mariner All-Stars last weekend. He participated in the Home Run Derby, hit 2 out in the first round, but could not move on. Rene 0 for 1 on the day, flew out to center and got a slider and poked it out there. Rene shared a cool Cape connection last night, getting to meet Brandon Stallman for the first time. Stallman for Orleans, plays for Charlotte, where Lastris will be going in the fall. A high pop-up on the infield. Some communication issues, but Camarillo is going to call off LaCroix for now the 2nd out. So 3 called it, 1 grabs it. 2 quick outs for Picone, who is working very briskly. He's had 2 1-2-3 innings, 1 inning in the 3rd where he faced just 1 above the minimum. He's going straight after these hitters. Morton lays a bunt down, but it's straight back to the mound. Picone flips it to first in a 1-2-3 inning for Dominic Picone. Barely catch our breath and get you back here to the inning before we say it's time to go to the 6th inning. Here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, we'll be back with you momentarily.
They take pride in offering fresh, affordable food, whether a brunch for 10, a backyard party for 50, or a full-service wedding for 200. Based in Onset, Massachusetts, orders may be placed by calling or texting 508-317-6397 or emailing minkleboyscatering@yahoo.com.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
Serving southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Office Technology Group has been the area's source for advanced digital multifunctional copiers since 2009. Call Office Technology Group at 508-858-5825.
Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP, is a law firm with an outstanding reputation for achieving successful results, helping a diverse range of clients with their legal needs. Our attorneys focus on your individual needs and achieve successful results. Call our office at 508-985-9888 to learn how Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally can help you.
James Hepp faces 2 batters in the top of the 5th. He retires them both, solidifying the line for tonight's starter, Chase Chapman. He goes 4 1/3 innings, concedes 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. He's currently in line for the loss, but with the way this game has gone back and forth, would not be surprised if he took a no decision. As Hepp comes out for his first full inning, the long winding righty completing his warm-up tosses. Ethan Anderson, Elijah Lambros, and Devin Obie to face him here. 3-4-5 for Steve Englert's Harwich Mariners. It's the 4th matchup in the final one between the Mariners and the Gatemen this year. Harwich has gotten the last 2, which have been at White House Field across the Cape. And the Gatemen got the first one here on just the 4th game of the season, defeating Harwich 12-1. The lefty Anderson, who's a switch hitter, hitting here from the left side, takes it outside for ball 1. Hepp is pitching for the 8th time this year. He's 1-1 with a 7.10 ERA, but as Aiden mentioned in the inning prior, it's been up and down. Popped up, middle of the infield. Cologne heading out just in the outfield grass, backpedals, loses his balance, but he's got it for the first out.
I'll tell you, J.C. Cologne's making a case for defensive player of the night. He's made 2 very heads-up plays on ground balls. He's put away a few more ground balls over to first, and that was just one pretty catch out there in center field.
Here's Elijah Lambros. Lambros played for 2 different franchises the past 2 summers in the Coastal Plains League. He's making the step up here to the Cape and takes it outside. This is just his 4th game he's playing with the Mariners. As we mentioned, Harwich has lost a lot of key bats recently, including Seaver King, who was a D2 All-American, guy on Team USA. He's going to Wake next year, trying to replace him with guys like this. Lambros, the Maryland Terp, has had a good start. He's had back-to-back 2-hit nights. It's been busy so far. A single and a score in the first. Walked and stranded in the 3rd. From Steve Engler. And he's here in this spot looking to tie the game. Shoots it, right side of base hit. 1 run scores. Morton comes up firing, close play at the plate. The tag, in time, ball game over. Gatemen win. Corey Morton saves the day. And the Gatemen are in the win column. Lazarus trucked at home plate, but he holds on. A team effort today, Aiden, and the Gatemen come up with a 1-run victory.
What an unbelievable throw for Corey Morton out in right field.
Line score for
I mean, that's
for Harwich,
ridiculous.
4 runs on 10
Saves
hits
the
and
game
no
there.
errors. For Wareham, 5 runs on 6 hits and no errors. Winning pitcher for the Gatemen
Wareham
is number
at
39,
6 hits
Jackson
tonight.
Reed.
Reed gets his
Losing
2nd win
pitcher
of the
for
year.
Harwich is number 3, Dominic
Picone is going to
Thank
pick
you
up the
everyone
loss.
for attending tonight's game. We hope you
It's good to
enjoyed
see
it.
some
We'd like to
claps
see you at our
on the
next home
mound.
game this
The
Sunday,
Gatemen get their
July
12th
30th.
win at
Runs
home,
here at Blaine
their
Field.
14th
And
win
the
of the
Gatemen
year,
host the Patuit
and stave
Peppers.
off
Game time is
elimination
6
tonight.
p.m. Thanks for coming out tonight and get home safely. Good night.
Grant Sherrod, a hero in this ball game, a 2-run home run, a hit in the 8th to extend the lead, and that proved to be the pivotal run to Aiden. Jimmy Brennan with a hit tonight as well. Jimmy Brennan, his first hit in the Gatemen uniform, he ended up coming up huge for the team. He's standing by with Amanda right now, about to get him here. Get you there in 1 second. But Jimmy Brennan getting his first hit, his first knock. It was the go-ahead RBI. Never mind, Jimmy's got to go back to the team huddle. We're going to wait a little bit here. But Aiden, as we wait on him, we mentioned this during the game, but this just felt like a June 10th to June 14th Wareham Gatemen victory tonight.
Yeah, an early season kind of victory, and who knows, maybe that pans out and this kind of sets the tone for how the rest of the season's going to go. Certainly felt like something was different with this team tonight.
And how about Harwich, too? the amount of base running mistakes they made tonight, counting at least 4 or 5. Rivera got gunned at second trying to steal. There were 2 consecutive innings where the lead runner got cut out at third base. Another caught stealing at third base. So 2 caught stealings, 2 runners cut down, lead runners cut down. And then the runner at the end of the game to lose the game, cut down at the plate. But the Gatemen will tie the season series with the Harwich Mariners. Win in what feels like walk-off fashion, but they don't have to come to the plate in the bottom of the ninth. They win 5-4 to even the season series. Both of these teams winning both of these games at home. Jimmy scampering over now to talk with our sideline reporter, Amanda Foster. Jimmy's over there. We're ready to send it to our sideline reporter, Amanda Foster. Amanda, take it away.
Whenever player of the game, Jimmy Brennan, you had the single to drive it. RBI to tie things up in the 8th inning. What did you see in that pitch?
Well, the first pitch got I was just looking somewhere over the plate, somewhere where I could extend my hands and just flick something. Nothing too crazy, just needed a nod.
Were you thinking anything as you got on base, you realized that you sent the run in?
Finally, you know, it was a good time for it to come, but, you know, just not as next.
And you were with the Gatemen in the beginning of the summer, now you're here. What's it feel like being back?
Oh, yeah, it was super exciting. You know, I was really hoping for an opportunity to come back. I'm glad it came along. Just trying to impress it.
Can you tell me what that was like when you found out you'd be coming back here to Wareham?
Yeah, I was super excited. I didn't know if I was going to get that chance. I was sitting up. Luckily I got that call. I couldn't wait.
What's it feel like getting a win with the home game that you've played with the team since being back?
Oh, it's awesome. You know, it's something we need to win every game from here on out. So we're taking it game by game, and it starts today. So it's cool.
Appreciate it. Congratulations, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Jimmy. A big night tonight for the Wareham Gatemen. They win by a final score of 5-4, and Aiden, to rehash some of the things we were talking about earlier before we sent it down to Amanda. This just felt like a very gritty win tonight for the Gatemen.
It really did. And again, hopefully it can set the tone for a playoff push the next week and a half. It's going to take a lot, but it's not impossible. They have a lot of West Division games, a lot of opportunity to make up some ground. At the very least, this should be a fun finish to the season. If they're going down, they're going to go down swinging. That's what they said with this game here tonight.
Jackson Reed gets the win out of the bullpen. He ended up collecting 8 outs. So that Termel 2 innings pitched for Jackson. Gets his 2nd win of the year. Dominic Picone for Harwich pitched great, but that last inning, that 7th inning, the Gatemen, who had consistent offense all night, really just rallied against him.
Yeah, kind of felt like they kept him in 1 or 2 batters too long, and how many times has that happened with Wareham this season that, you know, now it finally happens to work in their favor?
And Grant Sherrod coming through, tying the game in the 2nd inning with a big home run over the right field fence, and then coming through again to give some more insurance. And that insurance proved really to be big because the Gatemen won that game by 1 run, and Sherrod's hit gave the team another run advantage.
Yeah, Grant Sherrod doesn't get that hit. The Gatemen don't win the game, or at the very least they're playing 10. So equally as big hit for him. And again, earlier, the home run, I think a lot of us kind of forgot about that. He punched back, right? Wareham was down 2-0. They almost gave up a third. Kind of felt like, oh boy, this is starting to get, you know, Harwich is starting to take control. And then bam, you counterpunch with a nice 2-run home run, tie ball game, clean slate. And they went down again, they came back, but still, you punch right back. That was so important early on in the game. Can't overstate how great that was.
The Gatemen, 5 runs on 6 hits. The Mariners, 4 runs on 10 hits. The Gatemen, the only team to commit the error tonight, but they get back in the win column, getting their 12th win here at Spillane Field. Now 12-7 at home. Rene Lazarus, the birthday boy, getting trucked at home plate, but he holds on to the ball for the ball game. All right, that'll do it from us here up in the booth alongside my broadcast partner, Aiden Blake. Behind us is Rachel Manning, and downstairs is Braden Schenk, and all the wonderful people at WCTV helping to get this broadcast out over the air. I'm Jack Hunter saying so long from Spillane Field. The Gatemen go home tonight winners.